It's Monday the 25th of September, and we're starting the week off with, let's have a look, 9 orders on Bricklink. So another relatively quiet weekend, and I was on a conference call with a bunch of other sellers last night, and the general consensus seemed to be that it had been really quiet for pretty much everybody. Now, there was one nice order came in overnight for £131, which was 164 lots, which brings the total lots on Bricklink to 298 for 1,637 items. So not the busiest weekend on Bricklink, and as you can see, probably even worse on Brick Owl with just 4 orders, and the 4 orders amounting to 29 lots. So really quiet on Brick Owl too. Now on eBay, it's been a little bit better, and in fact over the last week I've probably seen a bit of a surge in orders on eBay for some reason, and I don't know whether that's just because of, you know, the algorithm. When things sell, you kind of get pushed to the top of the list a bit more or something. But I've got 12 items going out on eBay as well. Now, as is the case these days, we get ahead of the game on a Sunday and start and pick the orders. So let's have a quick look what we've got. We've got on eBay a Minecraft Enderman going out. Nice little order of minifigs going out also on eBay. So all kinds of stuff in here, from Ninjago to the new Dreams theme, Harry Potter, and a few other bits. 2 more figures going on here. Again, another Dreams figure. And in fact, I've just noticed that there's 2 of these, so I need to pull another one of those. And then we're into the parts orders. So various parts orders going out, not much to comment on. Again, we're getting, with the change in the minimum order value, we're getting orders for individual parts coming through. So as well as being a slow weekend with these really small orders with the 1 items, is making the weekend look even worse probably. More parts orders over here. Again, a single item going out. More parts going out in there. Now this one was about 90 lots, and the whole lot only came to about £10 for 90 lots. So it's amazing what you can actually get for your money. And then more parts over here, and 4 more eBay orders. We've got a Batman polybag going out. We've got a Minecraft Creeper, Trolls Poppy minifig going out, and that one's been in the store for ages, the Poppy minifigure. And then we've got another Dreams Grimspawn minifigure going out there. So decent on eBay, at least by my standards. And the rest of Bricklink and Brick Owl pretty quiet. Now this is everything other than the large order that came in overnight, which was I think 164 lots. So I need to get that picked next. I'm going to get these all ready to ship, and the other larger order will need to go later today, probably via the post office rather than the depot. I just wanted to tell you guys to keep an eye on your stock rooms. I was in a call the other night with some other sellers. We were discussing some topics, and I mentioned about issues that I had with, in particular, 0 quantity items being in my stock room. And I had literally dozens, if not hundreds of them in my store. Now I also, though, had, when I looked, as an example, lots of items with quite significant quantities against them as well. And when anything is in the stockroom, it means that it's sort of reserved. It's not going to show in your store. So if people are looking for these parts, they're not actually going to see them. So it's important that you stay on top of the of anything in the stockroom and make sure it's accurate at all times. You know, accurate in terms of, do you really want it to be in the stockroom and unavailable for people to purchase? So there are a couple of settings to keep in mind when you're setting things up. So if you go to the management section of Bricklink and you have a look at the store and inventory options here, there are a couple of things. One is whether you've got enabled multiple stock rooms on. So if you have that checked, then you're going to have stock rooms available to you and available to use. Now, this is really interesting that I'm looking again now, because I've been in here previously and checked on this setting, this auto delete 0 quantity stockroom items after 1 day. Now, I've set that on a couple of times over the last day and it seems to keep disappearing. Now, it could be that I haven't been saving it correctly. So if I go back now and look, it is on. I'm just going to come out of this and go back to my inventory. And then I'm going to go back into the settings just to make sure that it is actually still on. So again, I'm going to go to the management section, scroll down, and it is staying on. So maybe I hadn't saved that. So what this means, the auto delete 0 quantity in a stockroom after X days will effectively delete automatically for you all of those 0 quantity items that you'll see in your stockroom. So if I look in my stockroom again, so I want to look in stockroom A, execute that. So anything at the further down this list where I've got 0 quantities, after 1 day they should disappear. Now these are all there from an order or orders that I picked earlier today. I recognize all of those lots as being there, so it's quite understandable that they are there and they should be cleared within a day. But that doesn't explain all of these with a quantity, and I suspect what's happened is because I didn't have that flag set to clear the quantity, there was still a lot in here. And as I've been adding to the store through Brickstock, I've been looking up the location and it's been choosing the location set here in the stockroom, and I've been adding to them, but they're getting uploaded and increasing the quantity but not removing the stockroom flag. So it looks like, you know, I've got a little bit of a mess going on here. Now I could just take off all of the stockroom flags and sort of click OK and they would all be available, but I want to be a bit more thorough and go through and check that I really have got these quantities, especially where I've got larger quantities like I'm showing here. I did check a couple and one was wrong. Others were correct, but one was wrong, which makes me think that others could be wrong as well. So I'm going to spend some time over the next couple of days and do a little stock check on what's in here and make sure that everything's okay. Here's a Bricklink feature that some of you guys might not be aware of. There is in fact a calendar in here which shows you the items for sale by date. So if you go in here and I'm looking at September 2023, you can see all of the items. So you can go into today's date, for instance, click on it and it'll show you all of the items listed and that will allow you to look through them all. And if you wanted to buy something, you can click the go buy it button, and that will take you off to you know, buy that particular item from that store. So it's quite an interesting tool, but it's maybe not quite so interesting or a bit overwhelming to look at all of the items in here. In this case today, there were 64,738 different items listed. But there is some functionality over here to change that. So if you just wanted to look at minifigures, you can change that and have a look at the minifigures that let me just try that again. The minifigures, filter results, sorry. And then you can limit that to just look at the minifigures that were listed today. But this can be really useful to check your own store. So if I wanted to put my store in here, can't type to save my life, and then hit go, that, sorry, don't know why that is not finding what I'm looking for. Let's have a look at that. Maybe if I change that to all item types, hit the filter, and you can see that I haven't uploaded anything today. On the 20th though, for instance, I uploaded 70 lots. And then if I go in, it can take me and show me those particular lots. So it can be really useful to check your own store or even other people's stores. Now, to make this easier for me, what I've done is I've created another of my little shortcuts. Some of you might know that I have ones on here to help me check a part out value, for instance. I could execute this, input a set number, and let's just look at 4539 for instance. Click done, and that'll give me the part out value for that item. Now, not a great example because this is a very, very small set, but you get the idea. And that's how these shortcuts work, and I've got all sorts of ones set up to do different things for me. So I've created one now that will check the store upload calendar. So if I click this, it will ask for the store name. Now I could have defaulted this to be me, and I may even just create another one to just check my own inventory. But this is good because you can check anybody's with this. So there you are, running it for myself. It's defaulted to August by for some reason up here. So not sure why it's done that, but just keep an eye on those dates. It may be the link I used actually was defaulting to August. I might have to have a look at that and change my shortcut. But similarly, you could run this for another store. I just run friends and execute that for them, and then it'll show you the inventory or the upload for those. Now it is defaulting to August, so I would want to change that in the shortcut here. So I need to find a way of inputting the month in here as well, but I'll have a look at that and we'll get that fixed. It looks like this M value here is going to indicate the month being the 8th month, so I'll need to do something a little bit clever to get the current date in there, but I'm sure we can figure that out. It turns out the solution to this was really easy. Where you've got m equals -1 here, this is really just looking at the month minus 1 from the current month, which is why it kept coming up with August. If I take that out and I just execute this now, put in the store name, Arena, and then you can see it's going straight in at September and not August anymore. So I don't know what you think of these these shortcuts. I personally think they're super useful. Have a go at creating some yourself. I've had a few people ask me questions about these. How do you create them, etc. Can you do a video on them? What I might end up doing is I might try and upload them to my Ko-fi store. Ko-fi's a page where you can buy me a coffee, etc. And I might just package these up and put them on there for people to grab for a pound or two, just to help support the store, etc. But I'll see if there's a way of doing that, and I'm sure some people would be interested in grabbing them. Okay, it's Tuesday morning, and let's have a look at today's orders going out. We've got a couple of largish orders here that were left over from yesterday. I didn't get time to pick them before going to the post office. In fact, I think this one came in after even going to the post office. And in both cases, in this case and this one, both of them said with a comment in the order that there was no rush for them. They appreciated that there were, you know, larger orders, and really good of them to mention that, you know, they're not desperate for them, so take your time picking. So this was the biggest order. This one was about £130 worth, all kinds of stuff in here. Only one minifigure, the rest is all parts in there, so that's a pretty large box going out. And then a small order below the you know, the usual minimum order value there. And then here we've got one that's more sort of minifigure based, a few minifigs included, some hidden side, some city, some collectible figures, and a few other bits and pieces. And then we've got a few more modest parts orders. And this has been the story of the month, really, to be honest. And it's not a complaint, it's just that orders have been smaller than normal, I think. We've got one order going out on eBay. This is the Tornwee minifigure, which is sold for £9.95. And then one more order over here. Again, just a smallish order for parts. So I'm going to get those packed up and ready for the post office. And then I've got to pop out this morning. I've ordered some new glasses that are ready for me, so I need to go and pick them up and you know, check the fit on them, etc. And then I'll get back and get to work. It's Wednesday morning, and I didn't get too much time to film yesterday. There was a lot of visitors yesterday at the house, and it was just too noisy really to do too much in the way of video. So I'm afraid I didn't have much to show you for yesterday's efforts. But one thing I did was parted out two of these sets that I just happened to have laid around, and got those added to the store. And then I made a start on the tyres, which I'm still in progress on, obviously. So we've got this tray full here of smaller tyres. Have started to sort out various cups of particular parts. We've got some things sorted on the desk here, different rims and different tires all ready to be listed. And then Down here we've got a couple of bags of other wheel rims, etc., all ready to be added to the store this morning, and I'll continue sorting out these smaller tyres, etc. as well. Now, first job though, as always, is to get the orders out of the way, and this is this morning's orders. Nice little order here, a mixture of parts, etc. And they've bought lots of used brick separators. They have got a few new ones as well, but they've wiped me out of all of the used ones I have, all in good condition, no sort of dents or nicks in the tips. They all should be pretty good. This order only came in probably half an hour ago. More orders here, fairly modest ones there. Then we've got a lot of sort of rock work and stuff going out, and then we've got another one here with a bunch of parts, mainly pink and white, a couple of figures in there. We've got a Wonder Woman and a couple of other bits. That's the can't remember the character name, but that's the bunny from one of the Dreams sets that we parted out last week as well. So we're going to get these packed up. It's just 9:05, so get these wrapped up and get them to the post office, and then I'll get back and get working on those tyres. So I finally finished with all of the tyres, and I've got to say it was an absolute mammoth job. If you remember, this tray was piled high with various tyres and wheels, etc. And what I've ended up with, unprocessed, is a bag of this size, which isn't too bad. I just got a bit fed up and couldn't be bothered sorting those last few out there. Now, I ended up filling about 3 different drawers, like this one, which, you know, was one of the reasons I was hesitant of doing them in the first place, because they just, you know, they just take up so much space. I've got another drawer further over that needs to be done as well. And as I say, they're so bulky, they just take up an awful lot of space. Now, obviously, smaller quantities and smaller items went into the usual racking over here, as well as into the blue units here. We can see we've got all sorts of wheels and rims and things in here as well. So lots and lots of different items in there. So not feeling great, to be honest. Got a little bit of a cold. I think I've picked it up off the grandkids, so I'm not sure what's going to be next for me, but we'll crack on and keep uploading. We ended up, by the way, with about let me just have a little look. We ended up with just under 2,000 different wheels, tyres, etc. Not a great value in these, about 165 quid there. So worth doing, and I feel good at getting all of those bags out of the way and done and dusted, and I can crack on with a different category now. Thursday morning, and we've got this morning's orders all ready to go out, but we're going to be doing the late run as always on a Thursday, so I'll be hitting the depot sometime after 4 later today. A bunch of you know, modest sort of orders. Couple of minifigs going out on this one. I was actually short on this one of one of the Minion figures. I ordered both a Kevin and a Bob Minion figure, and unfortunately one of those was missing, so I had to refund that. And I say missing, it was missing because they've been sold on eBay, so that's one of the prices you pay for doubling up on inventory across 2 platforms. We've got a little Minecraft shulker going out there, and then some more parts orders. And we've got one of these chrome gold bricks going off to the US
That's sold for £4.49. Another Batman poly bag going out. They continue to trickle out. And then some more parts going out here, including some orange wheel rims, which are not from the ones that I did yesterday, because I've not actually uploaded that file yet. But I did have some of those in this, so in theory this clears out this lot, but I know that I'm just about to upload some more of those later this morning. So we'll get this lot packed, ready for the post, and then crack on with some other jobs. So I was just about to part these Minion sets out. They're just 5 little small sets, just for the minifigures have largely all been sold, so it's literally a 5-minute job, but they're just annoying me by being around and cluttering up the place. But while I was just about to start, and then another order came in, and I thought I'd better get it packed and get it off with the post today. And it was a nice order for close to £60. So only 31 lots, but they're all sort of large lot counts, or large-ish lot counts, and they've bought me out of lots of 1x1 studs in both new and used, and lots of other bits and pieces as well, largely in white and reddish brown. So I'm guessing it's a Winter Village job, possibly, but whatever the case, we're gonna get it off this afternoon, which means it'll be turned around in less than 2 hours, which I think's pretty good. Friday morning, and let's take a quick look at what we've got going out the door this morning. We have got 3 orders on Bricklink for 40 lots, 1,180 items. And then on Brick Owl, we've got 2 orders going out, only 12 lots across the 2 orders. And on eBay, we've got 2 more orders going out there. Now, they are picked, so let's have a quick look at what those orders are. So on eBay, we've got a Lloyd figure, Ninjago figure going out. We've got a Lego Friends Henry figure. We've got a Bionicle weapon going out on an order here. And then another parts order here from a new user on Bricklink. And then the nicest order of the day is this one. Not very many lots, but high quantity, and everything is in pink. So 450 or so 1x2 bricks, 450 1x4 bricks, some 2x2, some slopes, some plates, etc. No idea what they're building, but really appreciate the order. And then some more parts orders, the last one being all Technic related. So as always, we'll get those packed up, ready for the post office, and then figure out what we're going to do today. I am thinking about parting a couple of sets out, maybe. I've got some of these holiday sets, only 3 of them, and there's tons of them available on eBay, and I know that they'll go for, you know, they're probably looking at 20 quid at best, maybe even less than that, and by the time you take out fees and things on eBay, probably not worth selling those. So I think I'm going to part those out. The elves are going to start selling soon, with Christmas just around the corner. So there's only 3 of those, so I think we'll probably get those parted out. And then I'm also thinking, not very big sets these, but I think I'm going to probably part this little thing out, pretty low value on its own, and it's a few years old now, not really selling. I think I've got 5 of those, so we'll get those parted as well. Just a little tidy up of some of the things we've got here. We've got a few other sets to part out, but you're just not keen to do them, just being sort of ones and twos of sets. So we'll get them smaller ones done probably first, and then we'll see what else we're going to do. We've hit a new milestone on Bricklink with 400 fans now on Bricklink, and that's a pretty good ratio given the number of orders that we've got on there. And big thanks to anyone who watches and is a fan of the store on Bricklink, really much appreciated. And we'll push on now to 500. I'm just sorting through my tub of minifigs. This is the minifig category, which is really minifigs, animals and any accessories and things like that I come across as I'm sorting through the tubs. And I just thought I'd spend half an hour having a look through this, see if there's anything worth listing. There's a few figures in here that might be worth looking at. There's a Jack Sparrow there. I don't know if I've got any headgear to make him up. But I might do that and have a look with a view to making some figures up. I've also got various tubs around the place with part minifigs that just need some the odd part that I've got on a wanted list, etc. So we need to have a look through those and probably go through my wanted list and maybe order up a few parts to make these up. Now, I don't do this very often. I don't normally buy in parts to make up minifigures unless they're worth something. So we'll see what we come across as we go through. I did find this Inferno figure or Inferno figure, which is just missing one or two little parts, and he's worth £6 or £7. So I'll probably get those ordered because they're not expensive parts at all. One's a little Technic piece, and there's a couple of round bricks as well that go with him. But we'll see what we can find in here and get some stuff ordered. So I've been working through the minifigs and ended up managing to build 20 droids out of the parts in there, and this is pretty much all I've got left. I am also listing lots of droid parts separately, bodies, legs, heads in all sorts of colours, metallic, silver, etc. And I also got a bunch of other minifigs, very basic minifigs, typically city stuff, which remarkably I find does sell. So that little lot needs to be added to my other file I'm working on. So there's £70 worth there. And then I also got this file. I got these parts out earlier. So there's another 15 there. So getting up to £100 in, half an hour's work, just sort of going through them and just picking out anything that looks like it's got some value in it. So well worthwhile doing, and then I can get on to something else. Next up is my container drawer or container category. So this has things like treasure chests, rocks, barrels, rock pieces, and trash cans, that kind of thing. So I won't take much sorting. There's not too much of this, but they're things that sell individually well enough, so well worth sorting out and an easy job for a Friday afternoon. Well, we've just uploaded the last upload for the week, which was these bits of minifig parts, containers, and a few other bits and pieces that we'd pulled out of our categories earlier. And we ended up with 73 new lots from that. There was actually 90 lots uploaded. 73 of those were new, and that takes us to a new lot count of 13,309. Inventory 734,105, and I think that's going to do us for the weekend. and a couple of orders that we've got ready to go out probably tomorrow, but no rush to get them out. They've only came in the last hour or two, and we'll probably pop them in the post in the morning.